Welcome into LakePoint Sports. Cory McCartney with you, and bustling is the opportune word here as it's the Johnsonville Elite Weekend presented by Palmy Insurance, and bustling, the opportune word, as I said, across campus. Events going on across all 5 premium venues. We're here at the Baseball Village where we have our game of the day from the state games of Georgia. We're going to have Excel Blue Wave taking on Service Baseball, and we'll bring you first pitch. That shortly. I'll be joined by Prep Baseball Georgia's Hudson Graham, Avery Hunt, and Ian Smith. Mentioned so much happening across campus, along with here at the Baseball Village in the state game of Georgia. The Champions Center, we had the Adidas Memorial Day Classic, 10 to 17 U teams, 150 in attendance. Public Fields had the NXGN 7 versus 7 National Championship. Flag football, 70 teams presented in that. The Beach Pavilion has a USAV Beach National Qualifier, 80 teams across a variety of age divisions there, and at Terminus, beginner clinic there. So if you want to check out the Wake Park, you can get an opportunity there. A nice chance for people to kind of get their feet wet, both figuratively and literally there over at Terminus. So a lot going on, as I mentioned. The Johnsonville Elite Weekend presented by Palmy Insurance. And this season, LakePoint Sports is partnering with Johnsonville to highlight positive actions, good sportsmanship, and selfless acts associated with various youth sports that we all love. Any and everyone is encouraged to take part in these moments. So whether you're the one who spotted the activity, the one performing the act, or the recipient of the good deed, there's something in it for everyone, and Johnsonville might just reward you for the behavior and or participation. So use the QR code for more information. We'll see that pop on screen shortly here. You'll be able to use this QR code and you can make a submission with that, or you can head over to lakepointsports.com or our social channels to access the submission form as well. Again, we're looking for good sportsmanship, selfless acts, basically all those moments where you see someone out there being a good sport, looking for opportunity here to recognize some people and potentially reward some as well for these great moments. So make sure you check that out. All of our Champions Weekends also in partnership with Academy Sports. We're going to get a chance here. One of the things that the players absolutely love is to take us through their equipment. Riley Klingman was able to match up with Bryce Zimmerman from Canes Southeast, who took him inside his bag and showed Riley how he gears up.
That's Bryce Zimmerman from Canes Southeast, and he's going to show us how he gears up.
Started off, got my helmet right here. It's an Evo Shield helmet, some slight. Got my infield glove right here. Heart of the High, got it this past Christmas, been using it since. Pretty good. Next, my pitching glove ever to get on the mound, 44. Pretty basic. And then I got a G-form elbow guard, got my sliding mitt, got some Franklin batting gloves, about it. Pretty basic. And for arm care, got some bands right here. Then got some plyo balls in case I could get my arm loose. Then for my bat, I got the gold edition, the bomb bat. Like it's pretty hot, pretty good for a wood bat. And then got a few baseballs in here. In case I gotta get loose, and then that's about it.
We've seen how Bryce gears up. Now get to Academy so you can gear up too.
Make sure you take advantage of our partnership with Academy here. Text 22369. LakePoint to 22369, and you get $10 off your next purchase of $50 or more when you sign up for Text from Academy, so you, just like Bryce Zimmerman, can gear up as well. Now joined by Hudson Graham from Prep Baseball Georgia. Hudson, we have so much going on here in the Baseball Village, and as you get situated here, you got on the new gear. I got on the new gear from Prep Baseball, their new look. We had Simone Stanley hit the Baseball Village to take us inside Prep Baseball's new shop, and here she is with her feature from the Baseball Marketplace.
What's up, everyone? It is Simone Stanley here from LakePoint Sports Retail Row. Today, I'm super excited to get an inside look of the Prep Baseball Store's newest ladies collection.
We have had a lot of guests ask for more ladies apparel. Lots of different styles. They want some of the cute sayings. So we decided we would expand that collection, and I think it's doing extremely well. It probably took us about a month and a half to decide on the styles, the designs, and probably another 3 weeks to get the product in. So yeah, the feedback's been great. We have a little bit of everything from short sleeve t-shirts, long sleeve tees. We have crew neck sweatshirts. Those have been extremely popular. And bog bags. Who doesn't love a bog bag, right?
Absolutely. That was some great insight there from Crystal Miller. Now it's time to see what looks, what shirts, what sweatshirts, what tanks the ladies like best right now.
I absolutely love the t-shirts. They're made out of a really soft cotton blend. As you can tell, my favorite is The Only BS I Need Is Baseball Season. Another favorite of mine is Sorry Can't Baseball Bye. My family will agree with that. I am always at the baseball field, so that definitely suits me.
My favorite here for apparel and ladies is going to be our blue LakePoint tank top. They're super breathable. They're not too fitted. And then for when it's colder at night, my favorite sweatshirt is our new play ball apparel we got in.
I have to agree with Crystal, and my favorite is The Only BS I Need Is Baseball Season. This is a sweatshirt. It is so comfortable, and as you all know, when you're at the baseball field at night, regardless of summer, you still need a sweatshirt. So stop by the store and pick up your gear today.
Time you are here at LakePoint Sports, make sure you check out the Prep Baseball Clubhouse store and gear up, because there's plenty to get there for everybody, baseball players and fans, and then obviously the parents as well. So let's look at how Excel Blue Wave and Service Baseball are going to line up for today's matchup. Excel Blue Wave leading off with shortstop Kason Smith, followed by center fielder Samuel Davis, Cameron Kerbel, the catcher, will be hitting third. Houston Haygood, first baseman, hitting fourth. Carson White, the right fielder, will be fifth. Hitting sixth and playing third base is John Elliott. DH hitting seventh, Hayden Davis. Crawford Mann, the left fielder, hitting eighth. Cooper Morgan, second baseman, hitting ninth. Charlie Sparks, the extra hitter, hitting 10th. And Luke Kilgore, the right-hander, will be on the mound. Service Baseball, Brady Flessner, the shortstop, leading off, followed by second baseman Ryan Johansson. Mikhail Moon, the center fielder, hitting third. Kano Weber, the catcher, hitting fourth. Grant Barden, the right fielder, hitting fifth. Hitting sixth and playing left field, Brooks Smallwood. Dominic Lordo, the first baseman, hitting seventh. Peyton James, DH, hitting eighth. Kobe Moore, third baseman, hitting ninth. Hitting 10th. Ryder So Race, the extra hitter. Ethan Herodis will be on the mound, the right-hander. So exciting matchup for us as we will take you up to first pitch here in the state games of Georgia. Again, I mentioned here with Hudson Graham from Prep Baseball Georgia. And Hudson, you guys just got done wrapping up the high school season. You roll straight from that into the travel season. And this was a pretty wild high school season in the state of Georgia, and it was everything was moved up a week as well. So not only was it wild and a lot of great players, great teams, it was all kind of condensed as well. How crazy were these past 2.5 months for you guys?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it seems like we start earlier and earlier every year. I know they started MLK weekend this year with tryouts, so these guys are starting to play baseball in January, and they're not getting done till really mid-May, which is kind of crazy. Throughout the spring, as we get on our, national conference calls, there's guys that had just started playing baseball in April and May, and we're finishing up, like Minnesota and some of these cold weather northern states. So it gets early and earlier, and then it seems like it drags out with the way the championships work out. I know a lot of scheduling goes into it with the Rome Braves Stadium and Gwinnett Striper Stadium, and then Truist in the past. I know a lot of the scheduling revolves around that. So it's been a good one for sure. We probably saw, I don't know, over 200 games between the three of us and a couple other interns that we had running around. Probably closer to 250. So we felt really good about who we saw. Going through our classification rankings, we see a lot of guys in those rankings. So we take pride in that, and being able to identify these guys is something that we're really striving to do this year.
I ran into you at the Etowah Pope championship game in Gwinnett. Coolray Field. You weren't even working that game, and you still couldn't even get away from baseball. But that was an exciting one. Talk a little bit about what you saw from the championship games across all the divisions, because man, there were some good ones.
Yeah, definitely. I was bummed I wasn't able to get down to Tallulah Falls and Prince Avenue. That was a really good series. I saw both teams. Prince Avenue ended up winning that one, and then I went over to Harlem versus Calvary Day over in Rome. And it was a really good one. Harlem was a team that's been rolling, for the last couple of years, being back-to-back state champs, and they just play really quality baseball. Calvary Day had a really strong lineup. They got a lot of guys returning, so it was cool to see them being in Savannah. We don't get a chance to always go see them. But then, Etowah Pope, Etowah has been kind of the team that we kind of said from the beginning, if they could put it all together, I think it was going to be a state championship year for them. And sure enough, the 26s, Charmin and Trevor Condon and Deion Cole, and along with the seniors, got that taken care of. And if I wouldn't be surprised, they'll probably do it again next year. Yeah,
Trevor Condon hit for the cycle across the two games, had that big 3-run home run in the first game. They end up winning that one 15-0. They don't finish those two games until almost 1 o'clock in the morning.
I know. Yeah, it's tough. Like last year, I think that played into Lowndes' favor with Parkview, with the way that state championship series worked out. Luckily, this one there wasn't as much kind of controversy with it, playing back and forth, trying to get games in and out. But I know Pope that made that second one a little bit of a game. Ethan Garrett had a really good start on the mound for them. So it was a good matchup. I don't think Pope expected to be there, this time in February when we were sitting here for Georgia Dugout Club. If you would have told them that they would have been in the state championship, I don't think they would have thought that. But they really put together a strong team, with a couple freshmen and John Stutzer kind of leading the way for them. But no, really impressive season for them. And then, like I said, Etowah was kind of our team pick for the jump, so glad to see them getting taken care of.
Yeah, and Pope didn't have Jack Myers, a Georgia Southern commit, out for the season after surgery, so I'm sure they would have loved to have had him for that run as well.
Yeah, I bet Jack wouldn't have. I bet he was expecting the same thing, like maybe a down year for him. They weren't expecting to be as good as they've been in the past, so he had to go ahead and get the surgery so he could get ready to go to Georgia Southern next year. But yeah, I'm sure he was bummed once he saw that they made a little run in that state championship.
Yeah, John Stutzer made a gigantic climb in the 2025 national rankings.
Definitely.
It had to be. I mean, I know you had some influence there as well. He didn't have the result that he wanted, but I thought, he plays a really great shortstop. Kid can play all over the place.
Definitely.
Didn't get that championship, but I thought he showed out as well.
Definitely, yeah. The thing about him is like he could go stick in center field. He could play shortstop. He could play a corner outfield spot. I think that guys like that just always find a way to succeed. So for him, we liked him already, obviously being a future gamer for us, but I think the potential is just kind of, there is no limit to it with the athleticism that he has and the way he plays the game. You can't teach the competitiveness and, the gamer mentality that kids like that have. And I think that goes a long way when we look at these, rankings. And as much as we've seen these kids, we saw a ton of kids in the top 10. Ian went and saw Josh Gibbs a bunch. So we've definitely seen the kids enough to know, obviously it's our world versus, everybody else's. But I think that we felt like we had good feedback from the 2025 update.
So we're obviously going to have a lot of time to talk about these two teams that we're going to see here, and you're familiar with a number of these service baseball players. They got 3 players, 2027s ranked in the state. Grant Barden, who we're going to see here in a little bit, number 6 player in the state. McHale Moon, the top-ranked center fielder in Georgia in 2027. Ryan Johansson, junior Future Games alumni, top-ranked second baseman in Georgia in 2027. You're seeing guys. I mean, you're rolling straight from the high school season into the travel season, and I know there's players across this tournament that you're excited about seeing. What kind of stands out to you about those 3 as maybe the big players that we're going to see in this matchup?
Yeah, so I'm always looking for these younger guys that we get to follow. We got a chance to see McHale Moon last summer, and even this fall had a really big couple games for us. And then Ryan Johansson was a future gamer, junior future gamer for us, playing second base. And then Ethan Hatterett's here. He's a Creekview guy, sophomore for them. throws a lot of strikes, so I know he's going to be attacking the zone early on in this game. But no, definitely like following these 27s, especially as they move into high school. Shortstop looks like a pretty good-sized kid too, Brady Flesner. Haven't heard that name yet, so that's one we always want to try to peek at and see some of these guys that may have a chance to play at the high school level next year.
Yeah, on the mound, we're going to see Ethan Hatterett's Creekview. Fastball gets her up around 77, so we'll see as he misses on the first pitch of the game, has a leadoff hitter dancing out of the way. Also has a curveball around 65, 67. We're seeing a changeup as well.
Yeah, Ethan, he's got a quick pace. Once he finds his grooves, I've seen him throw a lot of good games. Like I said, he throws a lot of strikes. He attacks the zone, which is kind of the name of the game with these wood bats, with these younger kids. I think if you can position your outfield in the right spot, I think you can get a lot of outs that are normally, line drive hits with metal. Some of these kids still growing and developing. The wood bats and a lot of strikes go hand in hand when a pitcher wants to be successful.
Yeah, this is an adjustment period, right? I mean, a lot of these kids just went straight from the high school season into now the travel season, and they're going from the metal bat to the wood. And for those first ones getting the chance to swing those in competition, it's got to be a huge adjustment.
Yeah, then I know everybody pretty much swinging. It looks like bomb bats these days, so I know they got some pop in them. We got a lot of good vendors in LakePoint Village with a lot of good wood bats too. So, but definitely in transition, going from metal to wood, especially at 15 years old.
Get a little bit greedy in the base pass there, and Cason Smith picked off at second base. So going to be one down, and now we have Samuel Davis up. Samuel Davis from UMS Wright Prep School in Alabama, 5'10", 155-pound righty. Also gets on the mound, plays some shortstop. Loving the red accents here. It was a 1-1. Hatteretts fires that one in right field for a base hit. Oh, he's going to throw it to first. Oh, and nearly came up firing, able to get the out, but Grant Barden tumbles to the ground, and that ball got away from the first baseman. So we're going to have another base runner.
I was just checking in with our Alabama guys. I know they have a really strong relationship with the Excel program. They do a scout day with them, similar that we do with a lot of our programs here in Georgia. So I was checking in with them and see who they had on this team. But Excel, we've been seeing them ever since we started here at LakePoint. They always come to the state games. They pretty much bring every team that they have. They're really well coached. You really can't find a bad team in their program. Honestly, they put together really strong, quality teams. And it seems like they scatter their talent throughout. Their national team will kind of be their main team, the Blue Wave. And then I know they got the Blue Sox and maybe one other one. But all their teams are always, real quality teams.
Swing and a miss there. This is now Cameron Kerbel. Cameron from St. Michael Catholic in Alabama, catcher and outfielder. Misses that one, goes in the dirt.
No, nothing like first day of LakePoint. Get the 8 a.m.s rolling, get a nice little storm comes in, and then we got sun and 85 degrees out there right now.
Yeah, it's kind of the way it happens here, right? The weather turns on a dime, and so did Kerbel on that pitch. Is he going to scoot into second base? We're going to have runners at second and third with one down. Yeah, everything was delayed for a little while. We had seemingly an hour and a half delay, pretty close to that from and then the games that were going before this were just minutes away from finishing before we were able to get everybody warmed up for this. Games that were supposed to start at 10:30.
Luckily got the turf and get right back playing. I tried to get us a state championship game potentially over here the other day. I was talking to the GHSA guys, and they were kind of scrambling for a game or for a field for potentially the Cherokee Bluff Stars Mill Game 3. And I was kind of messing around like, we can get some bleachers, bring some bleachers in, bring some chairs in. We can make it happen, especially on this Audi Marietta field. We could throw some bleachers out in left field in the parking lot. I think we could have we could have made it happen, but they did not go game 3. So.
Well, I would love for us, anybody who's listening, who's watching what we're doing and thinks, man, this would be a great place for us to get some high-level action like that as the play throws back to home, not in time to get away from the catcher. So there goes one run. Here comes their second run on the errant throw. It's going to be a 2-0 lead for Excel Baseball here in the top of the first. As tried to take away the lead runner and end up giving up 2 runs on the errant throw. So Excel Baseball catching a break there as they lead 2-0. But getting back to that, if anyone is watching who looks at what we have here at LakePoint Sports and says that field, that Audi Marietta field looks like state championship material, throw some bleachers in the outfield along the way there, and we could really make that happen. I think it would be a fantastic opportunity for us to be able to continue to showcase these fields. And
definitely. I like playing at the the minor league stadiums like Gwinnett and Rome and even Truist last year, but I feel like the atmosphere would just be a little bit better if we played at high school fields, just with keeping everything a lot tighter. Rome carried a pretty good crowd. Obviously not as big as Gwinnett. Harlan traveled really well, so it was a pretty good environment. But I think if we got those 7A and 6A and 5A championship as a smaller field, I think it could be really, really electric. Umpires might not like it, but I think the players and fans would.
Stolen base for Hudson Haygood. I tell you, the other element of it, too, is if you're a team that's built for power and all of a sudden you got to play in a field that's much bigger, how much does it change your game? I think that's a big piece of the puzzle as well.
Yeah, John's good breaking ball there from Ethan to get the strikeout. But, yeah, John Setzer, I think he had in that game, too, probably any other field in the state, he probably ties the game on a home run. I think he hit it like 390. And then last year, the same way, he had a couple against Hudson County that would have gotten out in any other park. So it definitely changes the game. I was really impressed with Trevor Condon getting that ball out of right. He really, really put a sting into that one.
Sure did.
But
think about a couple, the last time before that, Edgewood played for a state championship against Woodstock. That ends up, Woodstock pitcher ends up almost throwing a no-hitter because a lot of long fly balls that maybe would have been out in a smaller ballpark. And
yeah, I think I actually coached that kid that threw that game. It was funny. I coached a couple of those kids, back quite a few years ago. Jackson Chirello, who's at Kennesaw State now, and then Braden Davis, I believe, was at Woodstock.
It was Braden. So actually, not to go too far in the weeds here, but a good friend of mine's daughter dates Braden. So,
nice.
I've had many conversations with Braden about that performance.
Yeah, so I coached him, I guess, when they were 15. So him and Jackson Chirello were playing against each other, obviously in-county rivals. So that was definitely remember that one with those guys. And the funny thing was, like, Braden took a break from high school ball, just really didn't want to play, and then came back for his junior year. And then I think he got, like, Pitcher of the Year that year or something, like Cherokee County Pitcher of the Year. And then Jackson Chirello got Hitter of the Year. So it was cool coaching two kids that got Player of the Year.
Lines that one in the left field, gets past the left fielder, and there comes one run on his way into second base. Elliott with a stand-up double and another run for Excel Baseball, who leads 3-0 here in the top of the first.
Yeah, see, Excel they keep running out athletic kids after athletic kids. All these kids look like really good ball players and putting good swings on balls. So.
Misses over his head.
Yeah, Ethan, I think if he could just work ahead here, he could find a little bit of a groove. He's got good off speed, but getting behind in counts, he's not been able to go to it as much. Just got to get ahead with that fastball.
The 2-0. Swing and a miss. Throw it down to third. Going to be in for another stolen base. The Hatteras is throwing strikes, but unfortunately Excel Baseball is feasting on them, leading 3-0 here so far in the top of the first inning. They've got 3 runs on 3 hits.
I think this service team will hit, so we should be in for a good game. I think Ethan will settle down
Swing and a miss
here in this next inning, but this service team should be able to put some runs on the board. We'll see what Excel's got going on the mound.
Goes down on strikes. Ethan Hatteras gets him out of the inning, but not before Excel Baseball takes a 3-0 lead. We'll be back with more. You're watching the State Games of Georgia, part of the Johnsonville Elite Weekend, presented by Palmy Insurance. Welcome back to LakePoint Sports. This is the State Games of Georgia, again part of the Johnsonville Elite Weekend presented by Palmy Insurance. Cory McCartney, Prep Baseball Georgia's Hudson Graham here with you as we head to the bottom of the first inning. We're going to see Luke Kilgore on the mound for Excel Blue Wave. He's going to be facing Brady Flessner, Ryan Johansson, Mikhail Moon from Service Baseball. He's doing so with a 3-0 lead. Saw them just jump all over Ethan Hatteritz. He did get a couple strikeouts. As you mentioned, you thought he was going to calm down a little bit. I think Excel they just came out swinging.
Yeah, they definitely found the right pitches. He was getting behind in counts, and they were hitting in good hitter counts, seeing a lot of fastballs. So I think if he comes back out and gets ahead of guys, I think, probably has a better chance. But it looks like that top of the XL lineup's really strong. A lot of well-built players that were swinging the bat really well. So we'll see what they got as they come back around the lineup next inning.
The defense behind Kilgore, he's going to have Cameron Kerbel at catcher. First base is Houston Haygood. Playing second base is Cooper Morgan. Third base is John Elliott. Shortstop is Kason Smith. Outfield goes Crawford Mann in left, Samuel Davis in center, and Carson White in right. Here is Brady Flessner from Service leading off. Pumps that in for a strike. TrackMan frozen a little bit there, so not every pitch is 66.7 miles an hour. Now 1-1. Flessner, Mill Creek 2027.
Yeah, that's what I was just checking. I was trying to see what high school he was headed to. Well, he's got big shoes to fill at shortstop with Daniel Pierce.
Yep.
He'll get one more year with him. I'm sure he's learning a lot from him. He's a really, really talented player. We kept him in the top 10 in that update, so really, really good player in Daniel Pierce.
Fires that one foul. Does it get to a point when you guys are putting together the rankings, and obviously you guys are making your input into the national rankings as well, where it's hard to move guys around when you get to a certain point? Like when you maybe have your top 10 or your top 15. Does it become difficult?
Yeah, it's so I talk about it to a lot of people all the time. My main goal with our rankings is like we go, 300, we start expanding as they get older, obviously, but like I want to have those quality players that are going to go play at the next level somewhere in there. Whether they're 212 or 150, those are all really similar players. So typically we cut it at a national line, so the guys that get into the national rankings, and then after that, it really starts filling together. It's kind of a game of just like you just throw two players out there that are close, be like this guy or this guy, and then move on. So it's really tough to do. Obviously, super subjective from what we see, but we do see these kids a lot. It's not like we're just going off of stats or somebody else's word. Like we're truly going out to see these players to see what we think of them. But it's definitely a tall task. The more we see them, the better. I felt really good about the 25s this year. I've gotten to follow them the last couple years. The 26s I feel really, really good about as they'll come out next week. And then these 27s I'm learning more and more every day. So, obviously they expand. We'll start in the hundreds and then work our way up the more players that we see. Ryan loves to bunt. There we go.
Yeah, Ryan Johansson gets the bunt down. We'll talk about Ryan Moore, a guy that absolutely going to factor into the 2027 rankings when we see those unveiled here in Georgia. Brady Flessner, who got the leadoff walk, is now sitting on third base, and here is Mikhail Moon. Mikhail Moon from East Forsyth, 2027. I mentioned the top-ranked center fielder in Georgia in 2027, number 52 overall in the class. Tons of prep baseball events. It's his 12th prep baseball event, so this Service baseball team got tons of guys with a lot of experiences. That one's going to drop past the center fielder's glove. Mikhail Moon's going to be standing at first base with an RBI. It's a bad read on that ball, and Mikhail Moon's now standing at first.
Just got it on the hands a little bit. Mikhail's really got some pop. He's had a couple balls leave the yard here at LakePoint, which is now he's 15, so that would have been when he was 14. He got a couple balls out of here, so he really has a lot of juice in the bat. Being at East Forsyth, they're a really strong team coming up, obviously a newer school, so they got some talented guys coming, and Grant Barden and Mikhail Moon's over there as well. So,
well, Mikhail Moon and the batter now, Cannon Weber, is also another East Forsyth 2027, 5'11", 155-pound righty.
I always like seeing these, local teams that are keeping these guys in the same area. Service they're mostly Forsyth guys coming. They try to stick in that area. So it's always good to see these guys still drawing from local areas. And typically you see these guys play with Service throughout their high school career. They do a really good job with their players. Like the older team, a lot of the same guys on it that we've seen the last couple of years. So it's good to see that against all these, national teams from all over the country.
Well, fires that one. Gloves, throws in time for the second out. Nice play there at shortstop from Smith.
Excel's another one too. They're they stick in Alabama for the most part, so it's always good to see guys pulling talent from their area.
So Weber goes out on the ground out, and here is Grant Barden. Grant, the third of these ranked players from Service Baseball, another East Forsyth, 6th ranked right-handed pitcher in Georgia in 2027.
Yeah, Grant can really throw it on the mound. Obviously, good sized kid there, being 15. His brother's a junior, I guess rising senior. Big righty on the mound that throws pretty hard. So Grant's right behind him, two-way guy right now. So he's definitely been a guy that we've seen the last couple of years.
So he's got 14 prep baseball events under his belt. Ethan Hatteritz, the pitcher, he's in his 23rd prep baseball event. That's a lot of. You might as well have him clock in. That one's going to get past shortstop.
We're going to have a play here.
Going to throw at the plate is not going to be in time. Here comes another run for Service Baseball. You see Barden standing at second base with an RBI double. Nice piece of hitting there as he just plopped that one to left field for a run-scoring hit for Service.
Ethan played on a 13U, 14U team that pretty much just said, hey, we're playing with you guys every weekend. That was back whenever I was running the youth event. So he was pretty much up here, 13U, 14U, pretty much every weekend in the spring. And then now that he's in high school, he's back here in the summer. So
with Barden at second base, he gives away to Brooks Smallwood. Barden taking off for third as that one gets away from the catcher.
Where we got Smallwood. Where's he high school at?
East Forsyth.
Another one.
Another
Nice.
East Forsyth 2027.
Yeah, they should be solid coming up. They got some guys returning this year. Trey Farr will be a senior, guy that we've really liked, and losing a couple guys, but I think they're going to have another good team next year.
Kilgore misses high. Appreciating the locks, the flow here from Kilgore.
Definitely, the hairstyles are out in full force. We still got some blonde hanging around. The natural hair's growing back, so we get a little mix of natural color in the bleach blonde that these kids had for playoffs. So,
hey, you think if everybody does bleach blonde, you got to do something different,
I know, that's what I was thinking too. I did it back in the day. I actually just did the part that was out of my hat, so I didn't do the full bleach. But
that one gets away from the pitcher. Here comes another run as Barden scoots across home plate. All tied up 3-3 now in the bottom of the first.
Been watching the SEC tournament, and obviously there's been some funny ones come through, that some pregame rituals and in-game rituals and stuff like that they got going on. When you get into the playoffs, like I've always said, it's a brand new start, and whatever works. Good swing there.
Yeah, fires that one into center field.
Right
Keeps underneath it to make the out. We're all notched up, though, 3-3 as we roll along to the second inning. This is the State Games of Georgia. We'll be back with more from LakePoint Sports.
Next. Stop.
You got it?
No. Keep going.
Again.
Next.
If you don't pick one,
Oh, you have time. Am I keeping you from your job? Next. I don't even know where I am anymore. Stop.
Do we finally have it?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Are you
Your
joking?
electric future customized. The fully electric Audi Q4 e-tron.
Making every second count. That is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water. Water for the athlete in all of us.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere?
And it needs to run smooth, like super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf. Because we're busy women.
We don't have time for lag or buffering. Who doesn't want internet that helps AI do your homework even faster?
Come again?
Sorry, what was that?
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
On to the second inning here in the state games of Georgia, our game of the day. Excel Baseball against Service, Excel Blue Wave, excuse me, against Service Baseball, Cory McCartney, along with Prep Baseball Georgia's Hudson Graham. This game, part of the Johnsonville Elite Weekend presented by Palmy Insurance. Another crazy, hectic weekend here at LakePoint Sports with so much happening across all 5 of the premium venues. Then Hatteritz continues on the mound for Service Baseball as there comes a ball from one of the opposite fields.
I do need to give Paradise Valley Boat Rentals a shout out. That's my buddy that just brought on, that LakePoint just brought on as a sponsor. He's the manager over there, so we'll give him a shout out. Be sure to go rent a boat this summer if you need something to do. They got a sign out there in center field, so he's I believe they have a boat here as well.
They do, yeah.
Yep. So he was saying they've been setting up. I haven't got to see him yet, but he's been up here for some of the Champions weekends.
So Crawford Mann flies out. He's going to give way to Cooper Morgan, the second baseman. Cooper from Chelsea High School.
Yeah, if Ethan could get a shutdown inning here, get him back in the dugout, that could be big. Anytime your team puts up multiple runs, you always want to try to get that shutdown inning. It's big momentum shift. Good breaking ball there.
Yeah, nice looking pitch there from Ethan Hatteritz.
Yeah, here he goes, getting that quick tempo going.
Yeah, he's working quick.
Yep, I know he likes to do that.
Misses on the outside corner, umpire.
They usually give that one. They usually give that one.
Comes the 1-2.
Went back in the same spot.
Fires that foul.
I know I peeked in the store earlier getting some interns, some gear for the summer. We got a lot of new stuff in there with the new logo.
Yeah, saw some T-shirts in there. Going to have to gear up on those. Misses to make it 2-2. Yeah, I think the trouble with the new gear and the new logo is there's still some stuff with the old logo on it.
That's what we gave the intern. So we picked through that. They're fortunate though. Back in the 2019 when I was intern, I think I had a hat all the way through the summer. I think that was about it. So they're getting a few shirts, pair of shorts, a hat.
There you go.
Ethan gets a strikeout there.
Yeah, I can't lay off the high fastball. That maybe back in the day you just had to write Prep Baseball Report because it was Prep Baseball Report across in Sharpie and a white T-shirt. That was what you had going.
Yeah, I was running the store in 2019. I was running the store. We were putting in stuff for the tournament. We were trying to scout. So it's came a long way since then.
This is Charlie Sparks, pitcher and catcher, Jacksonville High School. Charlie's the extra hitter today. Hatter, it's barely giving him time to even step into the box before he's ready to roll. We're delayed. He clearly has reservations. He's got to get somewhere.
Definitely. Little breaking ball backed up on him there, but he's found the field for it now. So if he can just get ahead, he could work that breaking ball. Looks like it's a good pitch for him today.
3-1. Swing and a miss. So what is more hectic for you? Is it the travel of the high school season when you're going God knows where, or is it when we just have so much baseball happening here in a condensed amount of time?
It's tough. So really from now until June 11th is probably the most hectic. The stretch of top prospect games, June 4th and 5th, straight into MPI on the 6th, and then ends on the 10th, and then we have top prospect games, upper class on the 11th. That's really the biggest time for us. There's so much stuff we have to put out. You know, we're running 200 players in our top prospect games.
Wow.
Got to make sure all the stats are in for it, videos, scouting reports for all those kids, trying to tweet stuff out. So that's our big stretch for us. I think it's probably the most chaotic. And then after that, it's just kind of smooth sailing with tournaments, just staying consistent with our content and our tournament coverage there. So I really love the high school season. I think you do get a break, during the day. You just kind of get caught up on all your work, and then, the evening hits, you get out to a game. So, it's an enjoyable time for sure. Obviously, it gets crazy during playoffs, but
just right over top of the second baseman's head. Smith standing on first base. Ball gets away from Hatteritz.
Yeah, 2-out walks. I know Ethan will be frustrated with that 2-out walk after getting 2 quick outs. Those can always be kind of momentum shifts, especially with the top of the order coming up here for Excel. Man, these old school cleats, I don't see them being comfortable. There's so many guys wearing them. The Jordan 1 look and the Air Force 1 look. I guess they got to be comfortable with how many kids are wearing them, but.
Yeah, I just don't think they have the same ankle support. It's just,
especially the low tops. You see the guys wearing the low top. They look so low, but if you look good, you play good, I guess.
That's right. Comes Samuel Davis. Davis 1 for 1. Yeah, they're big business. You go into Dick's Sporting Goods now or Academy, and they are all over the place in terms of the retro cleats.
They always say trends come back around, so.
Well, then maybe somebody will be wearing PF Flyers here to play
pretty
soon.
I remember Dylan Lesko pulled out the PF Flyer cleats back at the 2019 Future Games, I believe. He pulled out some of those. It was pretty cool. But, yeah, it always seems like stuff's coming back around.
Where did Dylan get PF Flyer cleats?
I don't know. I don't know if they were customs. They had to be customs. I know you can send shoes off to get plates on the bottom now, so I'm assuming they were those. I was just an intern doing video at that point, so.
I'd have to reach out to Dylan and ask him about those.
Yeah. Dylan was on that team. That was actually, we were talking about that the other day. That was Dylan Lesko, Jared Jones, Bear Jones at LSU. Harry Ford, who's with the Mariners now. So those 3 were Riley Stanford for Georgia Tech. Like that team was loaded in 2019 for the Future Games. I was back in the back tent stuffing bags, their jerseys. I was putting bags together for hours on end, and then I was up doing camera the whole time. But definitely cool to see those players come through.
Yeah, Jared Jones, a lot of fun to watch. We had him here, obviously, quite a few times playing for Walton as well.
He had a big-time backside home run the other day I was watching. He hit it a mile.
Yeah, you watched him here. There was no doubt that bat was gonna play in the SEC, and it certainly is.
Michael Braswell is another one we saw a lot. Starting at shortstop for LSU. Had to play his old team in South Carolina.
The 0-2 lays off.
Yeah, big out here with the bases. Juiced?
Yeah, bases are juiced. Yep. 2 down, 3-3 game here in the top of the second. Seen a lot of activity in the base pass here.
Just missing that breaking ball, just getting behind it a little bit.
Yeah, here comes a big pitch for Hatteritz. Curveball 1 for 1. Skies that one into right field on the run.
Ooh, tough play for Ryan.
Yeah, nearly had a little miscommunication there, but second baseman Johansson able to make the play and get out of it. 3-3 continues to be our score here as we move along this game of the day from the state game of Georgia. We'll be back with more from LakePoint Sports.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
Got a 3-3 ball game here in the state game of Georgia, our game of the day between Excel Blue Wave and Service Baseball. Cory McCartney, Baseball Georgia's Hudson Graham with you. This again part of the Johnsonville Elite Weekend presented by Pommy Insurance. And Mentioned from the get-go everything that was going on campus this weekend. You got here the Baseball Village, as I mentioned, the state games at Georgia. The Champion Center has the Adidas Memorial Day Classic. Publix Fields has the NXGN 7v7 National Championship. Beach Pavilion, the USAV Beach National Qualifier, and Terminus Beginner Ride Clinic. So parking is a little tough to come by here
I know.
right now at LakePoint Sports. If you got here early, you were in luck. If you're not, you may be driving around or walking around a while as you try to find some parking here in Emerson.
If there wasn't baseball that I had to watch, I'd try to go check out some 7-on-7 or some basketball. Those are always fun to watch. So always got something to do.
The 7v7 scene is just wild. It's hard to really put it into words unless you've been there. I mean, it's like a music video. I mean, it's just the music's blaring. You got these crazy athletic guys making all these crazy athletic plays, and everyone's got bright colors on, and it's a lot of fun to watch without question.
I know we walked over there when Cam Newton had his thing over there one time, and it's definitely a sight to see. It's really fun to watch.
Yeah, it's just going to get bigger and bigger too. I think with flag football becoming an Olympic sport, I think you're going to have a lot more kids that are going to still want to play, but maybe don't like the contact, or maybe are a basketball player and just don't want to be in a position to get a concussion or something like that. And I think you're going to see a lot more guys wanting to play, and women too, as we see that coming up through the high school ranks with the girls teams. I think you're just going to see a lot more flag football in 7v7. Got Dominic Lordo leading things off for service baseball, going to be followed by Peyton James and Kobe Moore. Still got Luke Kilgore on the mound as he fires that one right down the middle. Kilgore just been in attack mode for most of this outing. I think Kilgore from Harrelson High School now here in Georgia, one of the only Georgia kid on this Excel baseball squad. Dribbler second, gathers, throws in time for the first out.
There'll be a couple of Georgia guys over on some of the Excel teams every year. Typically, some of these guys in northern Georgia, like over towards Model and those areas, they'll get some guys over there sometimes. Bremen, Carter Allen was a junior future gamer. He's on Excel, so we always take a look at them and make sure we're not missing any Georgia guys on them whenever they come to LakePoint.
They don't lose any of the kids around the LaGrange, Columbus area?
No, I think that they're kind of, that area, 5-star kind of has that area under control for the most part.
A lot of game-on players.
Yeah, a lot of game-on too. We'll have them there this weekend. They do a really good job with guys. Clutch baseball, they're over in that LaGrange area as well. So there's quite a few established teams that there's been quite a couple pop up that I haven't seen yet that have been in this tournament, but a lot of the same names, a lot of kids staying on the same team. That's kind of a trend these days if these guys sticking with these programs.
So the score is 3-3. Ethan Hatteritz, the pitcher for service baseball, is a swing and a miss there for the strikeout. Hatteritz has thrown 62 pitches already, and we're going to this inning with Kilgore having thrown just 25. So big discrepancy there as we're 3-3 on the scoreboard. It's just the second strikeout for Kilgore. Opposing pitcher Hatteritz has 3 already. Here's Moore, their baseman, on the run.
Good play.
Yeah, nice play at first base. Nice quick inning for Kilgore. Excel baseball service and Excel Blue Wave and service baseball, still notched up at 3-3. We are rolling along from LakePoint Sports. We'll be back with more after this.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
It's the top of the third inning here in our game of the day from the state game of Georgia. Cory McCartney, Prep Baseball Georgia's Hudson Graham with you. 3-3 ball game between Excel Blue Wave and Service Baseball. This, as you can see, part of our Johnsonville Elite Weekend presented by Palmy Insurance. And a new pitcher on the mound for Service, Ethan Hatteritz. Now going to be replaced by Jeff Hines. Hines, North Gwinnett, 2027. Fastball gets up around 72. He's got a changeup 64, 65, and a curveball at 60 to 66 range.
It's always cool to see when we have these teams that play with us a lot as their numbers progress, because obviously we're updating velocities, on those player profiles each game, and so it's always nice whenever you get, playing at 13, throwing it whatever in 60s, 70s, and then, in the next couple of years you're all of a sudden getting into the 70s and 80s and so on. So always good to have those numbers on those profiles as they get updated.
Houston Haygood shoots that one at shortstop Flessner's glove. So going to be one down.
It's good to see these guys swinging the bat. I know a lot of these guys, these games can get long with walks and stuff, but both teams really attacking the ball and trying to make something happen.
Yeah, I think the delay just made them even more antsy. They were all sitting around. I mean, these players, that one second gathers, nice spinning throw. It gets away from the first baseman. Nearly had a highlight play there from Ryan Johansson at second base.
Johansson can do that. He's really athletic. That was a tough play in the hole, especially spinning like that. Tough one for the first baseman, too, to get in that position to be able to catch that ball, but pretty catchable ball there.
Yeah, Ryan Johansson nearly made the highlight reel. Yeah, just athletic-looking play. So it'd be a base hit for Carson White, and here comes John Elliott. Elliott's 1 for 1. He's got a double. And this is high.
I would have thought a big storm came through 30 minutes ago. First day for a lot of my interns, and I'm like, man, I just, giving them the whole LakePoint weather spiel, but it's we got through it.
That one's sky high. Johansson camps underneath it, right in front of the center fielder, makes the out. So now 2 down. Comes Hayden Davis. Davis is 0 for 1. I mentioned before the delay, these players were all just kind of hanging out behind home plate, waiting to get this thing going. As that sky to center field. Another quick inning. 3-3 continues to be the score here as we move along in our game of the day. We'll be back from LakePoint Sports. After an explosive first inning when we saw a combined 6 runs, it's been scoreless since as we move along to the bottom of the third inning in our game of the day from the state games of Georgia, Excel Blue Wave, and Service Baseball. I'm Cory McCartney. That's Prep Baseball Georgia's Hudson Graham. Kilgore going to continue on the mound for Excel Blue Wave as we move along here in the bottom of the third inning. Kilgore's allowed just one hit so far.
I think we got confirmation. I think the Lightning may have taken care of some of our TrackMan, so they're working on getting it back online, so that pitch speed will get back up there. But always tricky with technology and weather. We've had scoreboards go out, TrackMan go out. So
yeah, we had some lights flickering here. We had some lightning that was seemingly really close. I mean, when the delay first started, some of the players were standing around and it wasn't raining, and they said, "What are we delayed for?" And the next thing you know, the sky opens up, and man, that we were just devastation on top of LakePoint Sports there with the weather.
yeah, it moves in quick. Whenever I haven't been here this spring covering the high school games, I'll get the weather, lightning notification on my phone. I'm like, they're going, and it's like sunny and 75 where I'm at. So you never know what can happen with the lake and everything else right here.
So Race drops that in front of the center fielder for a base hit. So a leadoff single for Ryder. So Race going to turn the lineup back over to Brady Flessner.
That's always good when that 9-hole can get a base hit or lead off the inning, flip it back over for the top of the lineup. And this service top of the lineup is definitely strong. 1 through 4, 1 through 5.
Well, Ryder playing in his first prep baseball event, so gets a base knock in his first event here at LakePoint Sports. As he's taking off for second base, that ball gets away from the catcher. He's going to easily be standing at second.
I wonder if the fall ETA on the new hotel back there in the background, I think they were saying fall maybe?
Yeah, it's going to be the fall. They're going to unfortunately miss the craziest part of the year. You think you'd want that thing open before, especially before the feature games, if not NPI. But, going to be open just in time for the fall.
Should be able to catch a few of the games up there on the. I know they're having like a rooftop area up there.
Yeah, going to be a rooftop bar up there, so I could get some nice vantage points. Might have to do a broadcast from up there one day.
Yeah. Similar to the Omni looking over. Is that the Omni looking over Truist?
It is. Yeah.
There's always people up there watching games. I know those rooms stay booked out.
Down the middle for a strike. Runner takes off for third, going to be safe. So Surrey's going to be standing at third.
Great job by the 9-hole here. First to third and a couple pitches, and now we got the top of our order, tie game, no outs.
Service baseball 90 feet from taking the lead. Skies that one at right field. First baseman called off. Second baseman's going to make the catch. So Morgan makes the catch for the first out. Surrey's going to stay put at third.
I wouldn't be surprised if Ryan lays a bunt down here, at least tries it. Pushing to second base, he's really good at that, being a lefty. I wouldn't be surprised if he tries it here. He's a really good bunter.
Again, the top-ranked second baseman in Georgia in 27, Buford High School. Watches that one for a ball. Played in the junior feature games last year. It was also Georgia preseason All-State in January.
Yeah. We got another one over on the field next to us, field 11. Jalen Seabrooks is over there, another junior feature gamer for us. I saw Ryan out at the Buford Brookwood playoff game. He'll be there. He's a Buford kid, so quite a few Buford guys we've seen this morning. Leo Garcia, he was over on the Atlanta Braves scout team. got to see them for the first time this morning. I haven't got to see them in the spring since watching the high school games, but
team's a lot of fun.
Yeah, they can really play. Liam Collier on there. I went over and said hey to him, asked him if he was coming on the broadcast today. He's like a celebrity. He got to be on the broadcast a couple weeks ago, I guess. He did a great job. He was all excited about that.
It was so fun talking to him because he had just hit his first high school home run in the first round of the state playoffs just a few days before that. So it was really fun to kind of have him break down that AB. We pulled the video and had him go through it. And Liam was great.
He always finds a way to get base hits. He only struck out 6 times this spring.
Wow.
As a freshman on varsity, pretty much playing every game. So, really good curveball there to get him looking.
Yeah, Kilgore's been pretty impressive as Johansson goes down on strikes.
But he had another one. It was like 3-2 count, fouled off a few balls, and then sure enough, he shoots one back up the middle. He just has really good bat-to-ball skills. Obviously, pretty strong kid, being a freshman. Obviously, hitting a home run as a freshman. Got to have some juice. Looks like he got under that one a little bit. Tough play.
Moon skies that one. Outfielders collide. Moon's on his way past second base, heading into the third.
That ball carried.
Yeah.
Backside for Moon.
maybe some miscommunication there in the outfield as the two Excel Blue Wave fielders collide, Mann and Davis in left field. So Service Baseball leads 4-3 now as Mikhail Moon standing on third base. Looked like it was going to be an inning-ending catch, and next thing you know, Service Baseball's got a 4-3 lead.
Yeah, that's one of those ones that just carries into the gap, really in between play. You just got to be able to call it earlier, but I'm sure it had some tail on it from a lefty. Sure, it had a little tail that, messed up the center fielder. Center fielder probably thought he had it, but kept carrying over to the left fielder. Saw one of my interns back there with his clipboard working, so that's good.
There you go. Dribbler to second. Throws in time to get out of the inning, but Service Baseball's got a 4-3 lead. We're through 3. This is the State Games of Georgia from LakePoint Sports. We'll be back with more after this.
At Academy Sports and Outdoors, you'll always find more fun with great brands at the best prices. More of this, and this. So you can get together for a little of that, and a lot more of that. And even some of that, and that's good. Have more fun with great brands at the best prices. Only at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Service Baseball leads 4-3 here in the top of the 4th inning in the State Games of Georgia, our game of the day between Service Baseball and Excel Blue Wave. Again, this part of the Johnsonville Elite Weekend presented by Palmy Insurance. Cory McCartney, Prep Baseball Georgia's Hudson Graham with you. Jeff Hines going to be back on the mound for Service Baseball. Excel trying to answer as they fell behind 4-3. We were notched up 3-3 after 1, and then Excel gets through. Mikhail Moon pushes one into left field, and a little miscommunication there. He's standing on third. Outfielders collide, and Service Baseball's got a 4th run crossing the plate. There's Crawford Mann. Crawford Mann from Vestavia Hills. I mean, talk about a program that has just produced tons of players. 13 players drafted, including 4 who made the majors, most notably Chris Hammond. Chris played for the Reds, Marlins, Red Sox, Braves, Yankees, A's, and Padres. And this going to make it 2-1.
Yeah, Ian, obviously he's been here in the past, but obviously first kind of big tournament as, the assistant scouting director with us, and he was asking if anybody's putting balls into the parking lot, on field 10 and field 9. And I was trying to think back, and then I remember Matt Olson was here taking batting practice back during COVID days, and Zach Wheeler was throwing bullpens. So crazy times back in, I guess, 2020. They came out here for like a private workout, and Matt Olson was putting balls into the parking lot. Good swing there. Gets over the center fielder's head.
Man
That's going to be a triple, maybe a home run.
Man's on his way to past second base, headed into third.
Oh, bang,
comes
bang.
a throw.
He's out.
Got him trying to stretch that out. Looked like it was all the way back to the warning track, and Crawford Mann got a little bit greedy on his way to the third base and gets caught. So we're going to be a long, loud out.
That's impressive stuff from a 15-year-old team. They'd obviously been practicing a little bit before they got into this tournament. That was about as picture-perfect relay as you could get. Double cut. Gets the guy at third base for a really big first out.
I also remember you mentioned that Zach Wheeler, Matt Olson matchup. I remember Jordan Walker, who just gotten drafted by the Cardinals, also getting some work in against Wheeler as well. I ended up doing a podcast with Walker because he was part of the when all the major league teams had, because they didn't have players at the minor league level, they put a bunch of them together. Remember, they had those kind of satellite groups that they were bringing in, and Walker was part of the Cardinals satellite crew that was getting some work against the major leaguers. And he was here and got a couple hits off of Wheeler in BP, so pulled the video of those and got to talk to him about that. So it was a weird time. We also had Byron Buxton was here with those guys, and
Xavier Curry for the Guardians.
Yeah,
Georgia Tech guy. He was here throwing. They were literally just playing like pickup games, and we would bring our TrackMan out for them to get some data on and make sure their pitches are doing what they're supposed to. And I would just come out here. It was pretty much just like a pickup game of baseball getting played with some big leaguers and some minor leaguers and some college kids. So it was definitely weird times. I remember sitting up on the hill behind the Terminus wakeboard park when it all came crashing down. The SEC canceled their tournament, I guess, and then we started getting calls canceling tournaments. I remember that day very vividly, sitting in our trailer.
Yeah,
offices up there.
I'm sure we'll all be telling our grandkids about that. They won't be able to believe that the world came to a halt for weeks on end, but it certainly did.
I was running showcases with rubber gloves and full mask on. I couldn't get blast sensors on the knobs because of rubber gloves. So
we saw a ground out from Cooper Mann, and this is Charlie Sparks, the number 10 hitter for Excel Blue Wave.
Got some good spin on that breaking ball there. Tough pitch for him to lay off on that. Looked like it was coming in as a strike. Good break, bottom of the zone.
Yes, Excel Blue Wave going to wish they had that Crawford man hit back. Could have been standing at second base, and looked like he had plenty of time to get to third. But just you mentioned, just a nice relay throw to get him at third. And I mean, you said maybe he's going to be scooting across home plate with an inside the park homer.
They got it in quick.
They sure did.
I thought it was out there in kind of no man's land. They got to the ball really, really quick.
It's going to run the count full. 2 down. Charlie Sparks, again, the number 10 hitter. So if he gets on, Cason Smith, the leadoff hitter, get a chance to hit here in the top of the fourth. Skies that one down the first baseline.
Tough
First
play.
baseman able to camp underneath it. So Lordo able to get the third out. Service baseball ahead 4-3 as we move along here. This is the State Games of Georgia from LakePoint Sports.
Next. Next. Stop.
You got it?
No. Keep going.
Again.
Next. Next.
If you don't pick one,
Oh, you have time. Am I keeping you from your job? Next. I don't even know where I am anymore. Stop.
Do we finally have it?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Are you
Your
joking?
electric future customized. The fully electric Audi Q4 e-tron.
Making every second count. That is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water. Water for the athlete and all of us.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere?
And it needs to run smooth, like super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf.
Because we're busy women.
We don't have time for lag or buffering. Who doesn't want internet that helps AI do your homework even faster?
Come again?
Sorry, what was that?
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
This season, LakePoint Sports is partnering with Johnsonville to highlight positive actions, good sportsmanship, and selfless acts associated with all the various youth sports we love. Any and everyone is encouraged to share these moments, so whether you're the one who spotted the activity, performed the act, or the recipient of the good deed, there's something in it for everyone. And Johnsonville might just reward you for your behavior and our participation. So use the QR code for more information on how you can make a submission, or head over to lakepointsports.com or our social channels to access the submission form. We're back here at LakePoint Sports for our game of the day. Lines that one to the left field. Might be extra bases. It's going to be a leadoff single for Grant Bardeen. Barden. I'm putting an extra little some more vowels into his name. So Grant Barden on for Leadoff single is Service Baseball already up 4-3. They notched a run last inning.
Got a good game going on here. A little bit of good pitching, a little bit of hitting. Tight score, so.
Ball gets away from the catcher.
Good
smacks
jump.
his hand. Knew he was upset with himself giving away that stolen base. Got Brooks Smallwood at the plate now, going to be followed by Dominic Lordo. Service has been active on the base pass for sure. They've got 5 stolen bases already. Barden and
it's a good spot. Good spot down in the zone.
Garden's got 2 stolen bases. Serace has 2. Flessner has 1. The 0-2 from Kilgore. Steps off.
Park starting to fill in. Everybody getting in from their rain delays and getting their new schedule of when they're playing. So
Yep, ball on the field.
Looks like everybody's starting to fill in. It's always a busy time of the day, this middle part of the day when games are finishing, games are going on, and then, you know, people are coming to watch games of guys that have already played or don't play till later.
Well, you mentioned the Atlanta Braves scout team's 14U team. Their 17U squad going to be playing at 3 o'clock.
Definitely.
I think that team's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Obviously, Clinton Harris is on that team.
Yep.
Grant Hollier's on that team. Just a lot of really notable players in the state of Georgia on that squad.
Yeah, Tyler Fallman, uncommitted 2025, is going to be starting for him. He actually beat North Cobb Christian, the 2A state champs in the playoffs for Walker's school. So he's a guy that's coming to top prospect games, upper class. So we'll be over there to watch him most definitely. I think Ian's going to hop off site for a little bit, go over to Georgia Highlands. Catch Keon Johnson. He's going to be over there. And then right after them, Georgia Jackets national 17U teams playing. So they got a lot of good uncommitted 2025. So he's going to go over there and check out a couple games at Georgia Highlands while we, cover all the games here as he takes off for third. Foul ball.
We should have made Keon Johnson should have his own field here. Like we should only we shouldn't be letting him. No offense to Georgia Highlands, they've done a great job with their their facility, but a player of that ilk, we should be having him play every one of his games here during this tournament, LakePoint Sports.
Yeah, that's what Ian texted me. Well, at first, because Keon's playing with Wild Factory a little bit too, but the team he's playing with, Factory, it's kind of been his team from the jump. He's been with them ever since, I remember 13U watching some kid hit 3 triples in a game, and it was Keon Johnson when he was 13 years old. Good swing there, gets up the middle. Looks like it might score a run. Nope, going to hold him up. Good throw. He would have been out.
So Lordo is going to be standing at first base. Barden now at third. Nice piece of hitting there from Dominic Lordo, who was 0 for 1 before that one. Now here comes Peyton James, DH. Yeah, I got an interview scheduled with Grant Hollier later today, so I'm excited to talk to him. I think football may be calling for him. He had a monster last season, but I'm interested to see what his thoughts are on what comes next.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of kids like that. We're trying to see, the ranking stuff. Obviously, we're trying to evaluate what they can play in baseball, but like some of these guys might end up being football players down the road. Cole Crawford, I think he's got nearly every Power 5 offer just about, Georgia, USC, freshman for Cartersville, and Grant Hollier's another one. Mac Bradley over at Prince Avenue. He's probably got a Division I football career ahead of him. Ooh, tough play. Going to get by.
Yeah, good read at shortstop trying to get the lead runner, but throw not in time. So Service Baseball adds another, makes it 5-3, and they going to have runners at the corners. As Peyton James comes through with an RBI.
We were talking about John Stutzer earlier.
Stutzer.
Talk about a highlight tape of football. It was serious. I think he was like almost 1,000 total yards. Running the ball like wide receiver, and then he had like some running back stuff too. But it was really impressive.
Region offensive player of the year.
Yep. I know we're pushing for him for the All-American game. Obviously, Shooter's kind of the last straw with that, but he's definitely a candidate to get on that All-American game team. But it's football season, so.
It could be dicey for him.
Yeah, we'll see.
Trying to get down to Miami.
Luckily,
in the middle of
his coach is really understanding. He knows he wants a career in baseball, so it's always good when coaches are really understanding of where these kids' future is going to be, whether that be baseball or football or even another sport.
Kobe Moore now at the plate. Did an interview with John back in the fall, shortly after he had committed to Florida State, and He told me, he said, look, I told all the coaches during the recruiting process I love playing football, and they said, go play football. He said they were all really supportive. He wasn't sure if they were going to be standoffish about it, but he said everyone just, kind of was really wanting him to go out and continue to be an athlete. They're going to be at first in time, going to get one down, so Haygood able to make the play himself, but Service Baseball adds another.
A lot of good football players in Georgia. KT Thompson, Cherokee Bluff, he's another one. They're talking about he's probably doing both at Georgia Southern. Try to mix in baseball and football, see how that goes the first year. So quite a few guys that play multiple sports. I know most college coaches are all for it. These kids need a break when it comes to baseball. It's turned into year-round at times now. I know it's tough to play multiple sports, but these college coaches want athletes.
Well, I mean, let's face it. Like, if you can get an involvement from the football program where, the baseball scholarships situation is limited. If you can get in a situation where maybe you can get some funds coming over from football,
definitely.
And, they're able to make it a little bit more appealing for both sides.
I know what the new rule they just passed. They're going to pay out some players back from 2016.
Pretty wild, right?
Uh-oh.
Got him at home trying to steal. Peyton James got nabbed at home.
I like it, but really good job by Kilgore.
Yep.
Really good job by his back was turned too, so I don't even know how I guess they probably hollered at him. The runner was going, but really good play there.
Service Baseball able to jump ahead 6-3. Just saw a fantastic play at home. We're going to be back with more. This is the State Games of Georgia from LakePoint Sports.
At Academy Sports and Outdoors, you'll always find more fun with great brands at the best prices. More of this, and this. So you can get together for a little of that, and a lot more of that. And even some of that, and that's good. Have more fun with great brands at the best prices. Only at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Welcome back to LakePoint Sports. Cory McCartney with you in our game of the day from the State Games of Georgia. Going to be joined in a moment here by Avery Hunt from Prep Baseball Georgia as Hudson Graham steps out. That one skied into center field. Gets away from the center fielder. Going to have a leadoff hit there for Excel Baseball as they're trying to inch their way back. Now trailing 6-3 to Service Baseball here in the top of the fifth inning. That was Kason Smith making his way to first base there as that ball drops in front of the center fielder, and here is Samuel Davis. Still got Jeff Hines on the mound for Service. They're taking off. Throw is a little wide, pulled him back to the bag. Going to be in safe. So able to get Smith to advance 90 feet, and Cell Blue Wave trying to make something happen here on the top of the fifth inning. Count is 1-2. Davis 1 for 1. Samuel Davis going to be followed by Cameron Kerbel. Missed glove side. We got Avery Hunt joining us, as I mentioned, here in a couple minutes. Comes a 2-2 from Hines. Well, that miss, that hits him on the foot. painful trip down to first base for Samuel Davis. So he gets hit by a pitch, and here comes Cameron Kerbel, the catcher. Go out and have a word with them. It's like Ryan Johansson is going to be replaced at second base, so I assume we're going to see Ryan on the mound sooner than later. All right, here's Cameron Kerbel, 1 for 2 on the day. Throw gets away from the second baseman on the turnaround from Hines. Mentioned there's so much going on at LakePoint Sports this weekend, so come out if you want to see football, baseball, basketball. Pretty much got it all covered, along with volleyball, and so much happened at Terminus Wake Park. That nice into the center field, right on top of the second baseman's head as he closed on it. You're like, okay, you might have had a chance to glove that thing, but Kerbel's going to be loading the bases, and here comes Houston Haygood. Service still looking for their first out, and Service Blue Wave, a chance to eat into that 3-run deficit here in the top of the 5th. That's in for a strike. Shoots the 0-1 into center field on the run, able to make the catch. Runners are going to stay put. So Mikhail Moon makes the catch for out number 1, and everyone's staying put. Bases are going to continue to be loaded. Here comes Carson White. White's 1 for 2. This was a strikeout. That miss to start off this AB. That's going to even the count at 1-1. Here comes Avery Hunt sliding in. Oh, you're all right. A lot going on. I know it was a bit of a scramble with the weather.
Oh, yeah. It was a fun morning.
Shortstop makes a throw over to third. That's going to get away from him as he tumbles into the base runner. Run on the board for Excel Blue Wave. It's now 6-4. Carson White standing at first base. Awkward throw on his knees from shortstop towards third. The third baseman and runner collide.
It's a good play in the hole there. Tried to get the force out at third. Just was a little late and a little offline with the throw.
Here's John Elliott. Elliott is 1 for 2. He's got 1 of 3 doubles for Excel Blue Wave. The throw home is not in time. Another run on the board as John Elliott gets the job done and plates another for Excel Blue Wave. It's now 6-5.
Really good job of hitting there with a guy on third. Less than 2 outs. Just putting that ball in play deep enough in the outfield to score the run. Now they're back within a run of tying this ball game up.
Hayden Davis now. Davis 0 for 2. Swing and a miss. Weather played havoc on TrackMan, so 66.7 is not the readout on every pitch, just so you know. Sends the 0-1 foul.
It's a perfect way to start the summer, a nice 2-hour weather delay to start the day.
Yeah, and as I was talking with Hudson about, I mean, when the delay started, I mean, everyone was standing around saying, what in the world is going on? I mean, and then the sky opened up and all hell broke loose. Goes down on strikes. Excel Blue Wave going to strand some runners, but they got some runs back on the board. 6-5 is the lead for Service Baseball as we roll along. This is the State Games of Georgia from LakePoint Sports. John Kilgore out for Excel Blue Wave for the bottom of the 5th inning. This is our State Game of Georgia game of the day between Service Baseball and Excel Blue Wave. 6-5 lead for Service Baseball. Cory McCartney, Prep Baseball Georgia's Avery Hunt with you. John Kilgore throwing this whole game so far for Excel Blue Wave. He's got 57 pitches, 37 of those for strikes. It's allowed 5 hits, 6 runs, 3 of them earned. No matter what the line score says, the Hare's undefeated.
Exactly. It's a good look. Looks better now that the sun's out and it's not cloudy and overcast and raining.
It's glistening. Oh, show and bunt.
Not a bad idea to lead off the inning there. Maybe try to slide one down the third base line.
This is Ryder Serace, the number 10 hitter for Service Baseball, and we're going to be back to the top of the order in Brady Fluster and Ryan Johansson. Serace sends that one foul.
Of course, right on cue with our broadcast this week. Field 10's first game went the longest of any field, so.
Nearly hits him in the head. So how much does that push back everything for you from the day? I mean, we were, end up being an hour 40 rain delay?
Yeah, somewhere, had to push those 7:40 games back to a 9:10 start. So somewhere in the hour and a half, hour 45 ballpark. Some fields obviously are different than others. We had 2 fields finish during the first slot, so those guys will be a little bit further ahead. But yeah, usually probably about an hour and a half, hour 45, obviously depending on the rest of the day. But
shoots a 2-2 foul. Jumped on that one.
Luckily for us, we only lost 1 off-site facility today, so that definitely helps out the scheduling madness that can ensue with lightning delays like that.
Yeah, thanks to Dash O'Neill putting in some field turf at Georgia Highlands, able to have another nice off-site. So Ray sends that one into left field, camps underneath it for the out. Hats off to Georgia Highlands, by the way, making the Junior College World Series on their way to Grand Junction. I was texting with Dash last week, and they are awfully excited about an opportunity they've been waiting for years for. He told me before the season he felt like this was the best team that he'd ever had. They had a really good squad a couple years ago and got really close. Walter State kept them from making the trip to Grand Junction, but got it done this time around, and I know they're really pumped.
Absolutely. We have a few Georgia schools making their way to the respective World Series. Georgia Gwinnett and the NAIA out in Idaho is making that trip out and play tonight. So a lot of good baseball being played in the state right now.
Back up to Brady Fluster in the leadoff hitter. He's got a 1-1 count. Fluster's 0 for 1. Nice breaking ball. Kilgore's looked impressive. I mean, he's been out there for a long time. You mentioned he's given up some runs, given up some hits, but he just continues to pound the strike zone. Sends that one foul. And he's got a low pitch count. I mean, you're talking about 66 pitches here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Absolutely. I mean, now he's kept his team in it long enough to let his offense try and battle their way back into it. So see if they can't help him out here in the top half of the 6th inning when they get up to bat.
All right, I know you're an NBA head. Did you watch the Timberwolves and Mavericks last night?
I did not. My one of my younger cousins graduated high school last night, so I was partaking in that. And my hometown is not known for its cell service, so there was no streaming of that game at the graduation. So I was getting notifications on my phone on the ride home, but from everything I saw this morning and late last night, it looked like a really good ball game.
Yeah,
so,
it was an instant classic. It's a huge shot by Luka Doncic there at the game winner. See a ground out from Brady Flessner, and here's Ryan Johansson. Johansson 0 for 1. Another miss.
Love to see Minnesota get the win in that series just because of the Georgia alumni. Anthony Edwards kind of leading that charge for those guys.
Yeah, Mavericks just tough to beat when you've got 2 all-timers there, and it's a tough combination when you got Kyrie Irving and Luka playing at the level that they are.
Absolutely did a good job building around those guys too, with some help from their bigs right at the deadline with the moves they made, so should be a good one.
Nazir Reed's been unbelievable for Minnesota. You talk about bigs in that series, but you know, watched Kyrie play for years, and you wondered could he coexist with guys, and he certainly found a partner in Luka where things are matching up really well. Comes a 1-2. Not going to get it on the outside corner. Johansson again 0 for 1. We saw him really nice bunt in his first AB. Able to move along the base runners. He holds, make it 3-2.
A lot of long at-bats in this half inning from the service lineup. Fouled off some 2-strike pitches, worked the count. So interested to see if the arm will come back out in the bottom half of the 6th, just with the large pitch count he's moving up towards.
Fouls that off. All right, so you're taking Minnesota in that series. Obviously, rolling with the Celtics against the Pacers.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go Celtics over just about anybody. I wish that wasn't the case, but
yeah, Indiana. You know, they had a chance to foul on that very last play in regulation, and then obviously you talk about Georgia guys. Another one ends up hitting that game-winning 3-pointer. They couldn't. Well, to send it to overtime. But yeah, Indiana certainly had game 1 in their hand. Throw over to first.
I'm just glad that I don't have to watch the Indiana Pacers play the Atlanta Hawks for at least 8 months. You know, beating each other 151 to 150.
That's right.
It's a crazy.
Take it off. Gonna be in at second base. Oh, got him. It looked like he might have came off the bag, so that's going to get us through the inning. A little bit of a base running miscue there. 6-5 is the lead for Service Baseball over Excel Blue Wave. We'll be back with more from LakePoint Sports.
Next. Next. Stop.
We got it?
No. Keep going.
Again.
Next. Next.
If you don't pick one.
Oh, you have time. Am I keeping you from your job? Next. I don't even know where I am anymore. Stop.
Do we finally have it?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Are you
Your
joking?
electric future customized. The fully electric Audi Q4 e-tron.
Making every second count. That is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water. Water for the athlete in all of us.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere?
And it needs to run smooth, like super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf. Because we're busy women.
We don't have time for lag or buffering. Who doesn't want internet that helps AI do your homework even faster?
Come again?
Sorry, what was that?
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
A 6-5 lead for Service Baseball over Excel Blue Wave in our game of the day from the state game of Georgia. Cory McCartney, Prep Baseball Georgia's Avery Hunt with you. Got a new pitcher on the mound for Service Baseball. Going to see Ryan Johansson. Saw Ryan start things off at second base. He's going to replace Jeff Hines on the mound. Ryan primarily, as I mentioned, a second baseman, but athletic kid, plays shortstop as well. Buford, 2027, was here this past summer as a member of the Junior Future Games team for Georgia. Was also, as Hudson Graham was talking about, also at the Georgia preseason All-State in January. So a lot to like in the game of Ryan Johansson as his team looking to him now to keep him up 6-5 here on the top of the sixth. He's facing Crawford Mann, Cooper Morgan, and Charlie Sparks to follow. These 8, 9, and 10 hitters. Mann gets a hold of that one, shoots it into the gap. He's going to be on the run. Headed pass into second base, going to hold there. A leadoff double from Crawford Mann gets things going for Excel Blue Wave here on the top of the sixth, and he absolutely crushed that ball.
Yeah, that ball's hit really hard right near the Dr. Pepper sign there in right center, one hop the fence. So a great start of the inning here for Excel as they try to tie this ball game up here in the top half of the sixth.
Mann gives away to Cooper Morgan. Morgan's 0 for 2. In there for a strike. Johansson fires. He holds, makes it 1-1. Well, that one nearly gets away from the catcher. Nice stop behind the plate from Weber.
Good backhand stop there to save a base.
And the 2-1. Nearly identical pitches. Johansson misses glove side. Makes it 3-1. Morgan going to be followed again by Charlie Sparks. Walks him, so we're going to have runners at first and second for Sparks. Sparks 0 for 1. Then we're going to be back to the top of the order in Case and Smith.
Tough start of the inning here for Johansson. You go double and then follow that up with a walk. I guess now you have the double play ball in order, so see if he can't work out of this little jam.
See the next teams to play gathered behind home plate.
It's good to be back in the summer season. Seems like we got a large crowd here at the ballpark. I guess pushing game times back leads into that, but it's always good to see the park full.
Johansson pushes that in for a strike. The 0-2 misses outside.
Saw that we had you guys had an umpire with a GoPro on today. That
Yep,
was pretty cool.
Yeah, so we'll be working that in a little bit more. I did not realize I didn't have the right swing and a miss. Goes down on strikes. Sparks goes down on strikes for this first out, and here comes Case and Smith. I didn't even think about the mount that we had wasn't going to fit over top of an umpire's mask, so we're going to have a clamp that I just ordered on Amazon that we'll use a little bit later. So we decided to have the field judge, the field umpire, wearing the setup today, and I think we'll start working that in every weekend, try to have a different vantage point.
Really good job by Johansson there, bouncing back and getting that punch out. Now it's ground ball away from getting out of the inning.
That's in for a strike. Someone stepping off. Yeah, that felt like wasn't gonna. Somebody wasn't on the same page.
I want to give a big shout out to the guys with service for all being on the same page when a guy got to second, not having to take a mound visit.
Sends that foul.
It's almost an automatic when the first guy gets to second with a new pitcher. Oh, you got to go out there and make sure you're on the same page.
That's
right.
right.
Let's do that before the inning.
Yep. All right, 1-2 count to Smith, who's 2 for 2. Misses high. Sends that foul. Smith to be followed by Samuel Davis. Cameron Kerbel if the inning continues for Excel Blue Wave.
Pickoff move to first there, maybe trying to catch that trail runner napping a little bit over there.
Another 2-2. Tries to pull it down, but they're going to run the count full.
Just left that breaking ball up just a little bit. Just missed at the top half of the zone.
All right, here comes the payoff pitch from Johansson. Sends that foul. Skies that one over top of the shortstop's head. Here comes a run, throw to the plate. Not going to be in time. Service baseball and Excel Blue Wave all notched up now at 6-6. Nice job from Smith, able to score a run and notch things up. So Cason Smith comes through with his 3rd hit of the day.
Really good piece of hitting there. Was able to battle deep into that count after falling behind 1-2 and really fight that fastball over the shortstop's head to tie this ball game up.
Fires that one over top of the right fielder's head. Got a race here between these two Excel Blue Wave runners. Here comes one of them going to score. The second not going to be in time either. Excel Blue Wave pushes ahead. They've now got the lead here as Samuel Davis comes through with a 2-run double. For a moment there, the third baseman, the guy behind the trail runner, was going to catch the lead runner.
It's like that the scene in Major League where they're running right behind each other and they slide to different sides of the plate.
Right. Some serious speed. Excel Blue Wave, they've got an 8-6 lead here in the top of the 6th inning. Nice job by Samuel Davis. Davis 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs. Sends that one over top of the right fielder's head and feel like history is repeating itself. Here comes another run for Excel. Kerbel standing at third base, the celebration, and another run, 9-6 lead for Excel Blue Wave as they have taken over here on the top of the 6th inning.
Another really good piece of hitting, staying there to the opposite field, driving that ball to right center. It's 2 in a row that we've seen hit over there back-to-back, so really good job of hitting there by the Excel guys and, be able to take a 3-run lead here in the top half of the 6th inning. We'll have the infield in here for service. Try to not allow a run to score.
That's in for a strike. Tries to go back to that same pitch, but to no avail. Makes it 1-1.
Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Gets the punch out in the outside corner. So 2 down now as Johansson gets Haygood to strike out. Here comes Carson White. White's 2 for 3.
Here's Johansson here to try to limit the damage. And we have a balk, so we will be 10-6.
Things getting away from service baseball here in the top of the 6th. They went into this inning with a 6-5 lead, and now they're down 10-6. Swing and a miss. Here comes the 2-1. Another swing, another miss, makes it 2-2. Goes down on strikes as Ryan Johansson closes out the inning, but Excel Blue Wave has jumped out to a 10-6 lead in our game of the day from the state games of Georgia. We'll be back with more shortly from LakePoint Sports.
At Academy Sports and Outdoors, you'll always find more fun with great brands at the best prices. More of this, 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 and this. So you can get together for a little of that, that, and a lot more of that. And even some of that, and that's good. Have more fun with great brands at the best prices. Only at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
A 5-run 6th inning has Excel Blue Wave leading 10-6 over Service Baseball as we move to the bottom of the 6th inning here at LakePoint Sports, our game of the day from the state games of Georgia. This part of the Johnsonville Elite Weekend presented by Palmy Insurance. Cory McCartney, Prep Baseball Georgia's Avery Hunt with you. John Kilgore coming back out to pitch the bottom of the 6th.
It's the definition of saving a bullpen right here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, he is putting in work for Excel Blue Wave on the mound. Service Baseball looking for some answers as they go to McHale Moon. Start things off in the bottom of the 6th. Going to be followed by Cannon Weber and Grant Barden. Moon is 1 for 2. Went into the 6th inning leading 6-5. Now find themselves searching for answers.
Your Service Baseball here, you're just trying to add on 1 or 2 runs to try and give yourself a chance here in that bottom half of the 7th inning.
Dribbler foul.
Looks like that one got a piece of the catcher there. Always feel for those guys getting clipped by those foul tips. Looks like he's okay. He watches a lot of hockey in the offseason, so he'll be good. Been locked in on the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Kilgore out there to pitch the 6th. He's thrown 80 pitches going into this inning. Dribbler, first baseman, Haygood to Kilgore. Did not get him, so we're going to have a leadoff hit, infield hit for Service Baseball.
A good job busting it down the line there to, beat out a ground ball that's 3 steps to the right of the first baseman. Good hustle there. You love to see guys getting out of the box and getting down the line. It's one of those balls that's really easy to kind of, it's like, oh, well, I hit a 3-hopper to first. I've just put it in coast mode. So, I like to see guys getting after it like that.
So Mikhail Moon at first base. Now got Cannon Weber. Kilgore not getting that call. Weber's 0 for 2. We've had combined 19 hits on these 16 runs. Moon taking off for second base. That throw is pulling the second baseman wide. Ooh. Saw a play earlier where base runner came off and was able to apply the tag, and he went over top of the bag, and I think Moon might have got shaken up there on that slide.
Looks like he would have had him there. The ball not come out from the second baseman. Looks like the ball might have popped just out of his glove. Saw the umpire kind of hesitate there and looked like he was ready to make that out call, but saw the ball on the turf. So,
all right, so Moon now standing at second base. 2-0 count to Weber. Shoots that one in the left field. Moon's going to hold it third. Weber has his first hit of the day with no outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Now it's Grant Barden, who's 2 for 2.
Looks like that's going to be the end of the line here for Kilgore.
So John Kilgore strides off the mound after having pitched 5+ innings. See who's going to replace him here for Excel Blue Wave. Tough to read those numbers from the front side. We could just inch number 5 out of the way just a little bit.
7. There we go. So somebody tap the shortstop, tell him to slide over 2 steps. That's so we can get a number.
Samuel Davis now on the mound, UMS Wright Prep School. It's like we've got TrackMan working now.
Hey, we're back.
I was going to say the fastball on Samuel Davis around the 77 range, and he just fired that first one at 77, and the next one comes at 75. Also got a curveball, 65, 66. See what else he throws. There's that curveball.
Nice to see tournament staff up in the tower working on that TrackMan unit while I'm in the booth on the broadcast. So have to give those guys a pat on the back and when we get back up there. So
this means they're trained well.
Yeah.
So as Kilgore exits, we've got a combined 20 hits between the two teams. 13 for Excel Blue Wave, 7 for Service Baseball. That's how Excel got their 10 runs. They've also committed a couple errors. Service Baseball, 6 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. Again, here is Grant Barden. Barden 2 for 2. Barden skies that one down in the left field, drops in front of the left fielder, gets away from him actually. Here comes 1 run for Service Baseball. Grant Barden comes through with his 3rd hit of the day and another RBI. Scores now 10-7 here in the bottom of the 6th.
Like we kind of were talking about at the beginning of the inning, if you're Service Baseball, this is what you're looking for. Just trying to claw your way back after that big inning, fight your way back into the game, give your offense a shot to win it for you either in this inning or in the bottom half of the 7th.
Still nobody out. Here's Brooks Smallwood, 0 for 2. That's him for a strike. The 1-0 from Davis. Gets away from the catcher, but no one's moving.
Good job there behind the plate to block that fastball in the dirt, keep it in front. As a catcher, that's the one pitch you don't want in the dirt. It's the fastball, so really good job there keeping that ball in front.
Count is 1-1.
Breaking ball misses upstairs.
All right, now 2-1.
There we go.
Well, it gets away from the catcher. Runners are each going to advance. Service baseball getting that much closer.
Now, if you're service, you almost have to think about not waiting until the bottom half of that 7th inning. Maybe push some more runs across here. Maybe, get you a 1-run lead, go back out, settle Johansson down a little bit, maybe let him finish the ball game for you.
There's a 3-1. Drops that in for a strike. Goes back to the breaking ball. Makes it 3-2.
Interesting to see what pitch they go with here. He struggled with fastball command a little bit. See if he goes back to the breaking ball.
Shoots that one in left field. That's going to be caught for the out, but runner's taken off. Ayers in it, home for a run, and Barton going to be standing at third. So the sacrifice from Smallwood plays another run and moves another base runner 90 feet away from another run for Excel Blue Wave. It's 10-8 here in the bottom of the 6th.
Heads up base running out there at second base to be able to advance on that ball to left field. Normally on a fly ball to left, if you're at second base, it's kind of just, maybe fake, maybe halfway, but he saw that ball being caught and was able to advance a base, and it's big here at this portion of this ball game.
Dominic Lordo swings and sends that one foul. Lordo 1 for 2. Just one out here in the bottom of the 6th. That gets away from the catcher. Runner comes across, makes it 10-9 as Barton scores.
Not the best jump there from third, but was able to still score easily there. So 1-run ball game here with 1 out in the 6th.
Things have gotten dicey. In a hurry for Excel Blue Wave, had a 4-run lead going into this inning. They scored 5 in the bottom at the top of the 6th, and now Service Baseball has scored 3 in the bottom to make it 10-9. We have had some unquestioned fireworks here in our game of the day. That's in for a strike. 19 runs combined, 20 hits combined. Comes the 2-2 from Davis. It's going to run the count full. Comes the payoff pitch. Sends that foul. Walks him, so a 1-out walk. Now it's Peyton James' turn. James 0 for 2. Does have an RBI in the day. So that's going to be it for Samuel Davis.
Good hands there behind the plate by the umpire corralling that baseball.
Oh, Davis staying out there. So Lordo standing at first base after the walk. And got Peyton James going to be followed by Kobe Moore. Nice stop behind the plate to stop the runner from moving along.
Gonna have to work hard here behind the plate, keep that runner out of scoring position in this one-run game.
Taking off for second base. Lordo is going to be on the bag.
Looks like the ball got by the second baseman there.
Okay, the ball was in time, but Lordo able to get the extra base.
2-0 count here. He's liked going to the breaking ball and hitters counts. Went back to it again there.
All right, it's now 3-0. Kobe more to follow, then Ryder So Race. Does get the strike on 3-0. Swing and a miss, going to run the count full. Big pitch here for Samuel Davis. Puts that one in play. Drops it in front of the right fielder. Taking off for home. Nope, no, he's going to stay put. James going to be on second base with a double.
Good piece of hitting there from James and heads up base running. Seeing that throw past the cutoff man, taking another base. Get rid of that force out at second base where a double play could get you out of the inning. So service baseball still cooking here on offense.
I gave him a double, but that's a single with an extra base.
Yeah.
And here comes Kobe Moore. Moore is 0 for 2. Ooh, just misses outside. Davis wanted that pitch.
Behind the count here, 2-0. You wonder if you're Excel. Do you go ahead and put him on first base and try to, set up a double play or a force out at the plate?
The count's now 3-0. Does get the strike. See what he has in store on the 3-1. Dribbler to short, throws home, gets the force at home. So they take down the lead runner, makes it 2 down. Nice job from Cason Smith at short, getting that lead runner.
Really good job behind the plate. The throw was a little up the first base line, was able to gather and get back in there and tag the runner out at home.
So here's Ryder Sorace, chance to keep this inning going. Sorace is 1 for 2. Runner taking off for second. A little bit of delay to see if he could get him to bite, but does not. So we're going to have him at second and third, 2 outs.
Tried to go with the old run 3/4 of the way and just stop, see if he could draw a throw to second base, but catcher wasn't biting, so he walked into second.
But did you see the play from the SEC tournament last night where the runner fell down?
I did. Whatever it takes to score a run.
That's right. You had a runner fall down on his way to second base. They bit. Runner took off from third, and on the trick play, they were able to score. Gets the punch out to get out of the inning. Sorace goes down on strikes. Caught looking. 10-9 is the lead for Excel Blue Wave. We move along to the 7th inning. This is our game of the day from the state game of Georgia.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
On to the 7th inning in our game of the day from the state games of Georgia. Cory McCartney, Avery Hunt from Prep Baseball Georgia had to step out for a quick second. We'll be back shortly. This, again, part of our Johnsonville Elite Weekend presented by Palmy Insurance. Ryan Johansson going to be on the mound to try to keep things tight for service baseball here in the 7th inning. John Elliott start things off for Excel Blue Wave, followed by Hayden Davis and Crawford Mann. That's a miss. That's down middle for a strike. So we're going to see Service Baseball get an opportunity to try to win this thing in the bottom of the 7th. Dribbler to third, gloves, throws, pulls him off the bag. So we're going to have a leadoff single for John Elliott. Elliott on first, and now here comes Hayden Davis, the DH. Starts him off with a miss. Davis is 0 for 3. Another miss. We had an explosive 6th inning. 8 combined runs. Excel Blue Wave had 5 to start the inning. Service Baseball 3 of their own in the bottom of the 6th to bring us to 10-9 here in the 7th. 14 hits for Excel Blue Wave, 8 for Service Baseball. The ball gets away on the pickoff attempt. So John Elliott is standing at second.
The big inning on offense. Service here, you're just trying to keep the lead where it's at, give your offense a chance in the bottom half of the inning.
Excel Blue Wave obviously eyeing any insurance runs they can get. It's now 3-1 count to Hayden Davis. Crawford Mann and Cooper Morgan to follow. Miss on the outside. Gonna have another base runner, so it'll be first and second with nobody out here on the top of the 7th. And here is Crawford Mann. Mann is 2 for 3.
Fastball misses up and in. Might see a back pick to first here. Saw a catcher give a little sign, looked like to the first baseman.
Misses inside, makes it 2-0. Weber going out to have a few words with Johansson.
Trying to calm him down here. Johansson's been working really fast. Maybe just tell him to, take a breath, slow down, get back in the zone here.
Back to the same pitch for the 3rd time, and unfortunately, all 3 resultant balls now 3-0 count to Crawford Mann. Dribbler to the first baseman, covers, able to get 1 out, but both runners do advance. It's as good as a bunt.
If you're Johansson there, that's almost a gift and a 3-0 count. Get a slow roll up the first base line. Now he's got a chance to work out of this.
And he's facing Cooper Morgan, who is 0 for 2. Johansson, big breath, fires, misses. Swings on the 1-0. That one's going well foul. Johansson has on the 1-1 pitch. Misses on the outside.
Like to see the catcher give him a little bit more of an inside target here. He's missing to that glove side a good bit.
Another foul. Misses high. Runs count full. Just a duck out of the way, and that's going to load the bases with 1 out.
Went to the breaking ball there with a full count.
Number 10 hitter Charlie Sparks is 0 for 2, and now he gets an opportunity with the bases loaded and 1 out. His team leading by 1 run in the top of the 7th. Eyeing a little bit more insurance here in our game of the day from the state games of Georgia. Swing and a miss from Sparks. Fouls it off.
1 pitch away here from either a punch out or maybe ground ball double play.
Well, regardless, a big pitch for Johansson, because put Excel Blue Wave in an entirely different position if they've got 2 down with the bases loaded.
A high fastball there. Couldn't get him to bite.
Anything to the outfield, and Excel's got that insurance run. It's now 2-2. Sends it back foul.
Just missing that fastball there in the upper part of the zone.
Oh, he wanted that one badly, Johansson did, but unfortunately it's going to load the count. Here's a payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Nope. It's right down the middle. Gets the strikeout. To make it 2 down. Nice job by Johansson coming back. He really wanted that last pitch, and then he just goes right down the middle with a fastball to get the K.
You see Johnny Hernandez here, the service head coach, go out, just say, hey, man, there's a big spot here. Take a breath, compose yourself. You know, focus on the hitter here.
Well, we are back to the top of the order, and Kason Smith, the shortstop, who is 3 for 3 on the day. Smith's got 1 RBI on his ledger, along with the walk. Smith fouls that off.
Looks like that one will be deposited on the field 11.
Here's the 0-1. Another foul. See if Johansson can wiggle his way out of trouble here. He's got 2 strikes on Smith with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Oh, it does not get him to bite.
It's a good pitch there. Just missed below the zone outside, but almost induced a swing in the 0-2 count.
Does get a swing on 1-2, but it only goes foul. And the 1-2 goes back to the breaking ball, trying to see if he can get that swing. It doesn't happen. The count's going to be 2-2. Goes right down the middle for the inning-ending punch-out. Ryan Johansson earned his keep there, getting himself out of trouble. 10-9 lead for Excel Blue Wave. Service baseball with a chance to try to walk this thing off. See how it plays out as we head on to the bottom of the 7th. We'll be back with more shortly from LakePoint Sports.
Next. Next. Stop.
You got it?
No. Keep going.
Again.
Next. Next.
If you don't pick one,
Oh, you have time. Am I keeping you from your job? Next. I don't even know where I am anymore. Stop.
Do we finally have it?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Are you
Your
joking?
electric future customized. The fully electric Audi Q4 e-tron.
Making every second count. That is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water. Water for the athlete and all of us.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere?
And it needs to run smooth, like super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf.
Because we're busy women.
We don't have time for lag or buffering. Who doesn't want internet that helps AI do your homework even faster?
Come again?
Sorry, what was that?
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
It all comes down to this, the bottom of the 7th, 10-9 lead for Excel Blue Wave over Service Baseball in our game of the day from the state games of Georgia. Cory McCartney, Prep Baseball, Georgia's Avery Hunt with you. Excel Blue Wave took command in the 6th inning, saw Service Baseball fight back. We saw Ryan Johansson get himself out of some serious trouble in the top of the 7th inning with the bases loaded and give his team an opportunity to try to walk this thing off. He kept it close. Things could have gotten away from them. Now a chance here with Samuel Davis on the mound. We'll see Service Baseball can make something happen at the plate.
And a good start of the inning for Service Baseball. Ahead 3-0 in the count. Should be almost an automatic take here, 3-0.
Down the middle for a strike.
As you can see there, he really sold that he was going to swing. just kind of standing there.
And the 3-1. Misses inside. Leadoff walk. So we see the leadoff hitter, Brady Flessner. Now here's Ryan Johansson. We just saw Johansson, as I mentioned, had the bases loaded and just absolutely responded with a couple of strikeouts to get out of that inning. Denied Excel Blue Wave that insurance run. Swing and a miss.
Big cut there in the 0-0 count, looking for the fastball, just missed it.
Johansson shows bunt, pulls back. Flessner in the second with the steal. Into the toughest part of this service baseball order. Got Flessner at second base now. Johansson now at the plate. Mikhail Moon and Cannon Weber to follow. And you got Grant Barton, who's 3 for 3 on the day. Johansson shows bunt again. Gets that one foul.
1-2 count here from Johansson. Just got to put the ball in play. You know, worst case scenario, you walk out of here with a tie, still have a chance to win your pool later on in the weekend.
Comes Davis on the 1-2. Dribbler back to the pitcher. Throws to first. Gets the out. Runner's taking off. No, he's holding at third. So able to advance the runner to third. With 1 out, service baseball chance to tie this thing up. Now here comes Mikhail Moon.
Not the most ideal at bat there from Johansson, but good job with 2 strikes. I'm sure he'd love to drive something in the gap there, tie the ball game up, but we fell behind with 2 strikes, and he was able to put the ball in play and get that runner to third here with less than 2 outs with a chance to tie this ball game up.
Davis Moon swings. Back to the first baseman. No play. Run scores for service. We're all tied up at 10-10. Nobody covering the bag, and first baseman, I think maybe was looking for some help there, unable to make a play. So Mikhail Moon's going to be standing at first base, and we've got a tie game.
Ball was turned around pretty well right there to first base. He was able to knock it down, but the runner going on contact probably didn't have a play at the plate, and then, you know, the ball hit that hard. It's, as the pitcher, you're looking for the play at the plate, and then he just wasn't able to get over there and cover the bag.
Moon taking off for second. No throw. Cannon Weber is 1 for 3. Misses outside.
Oh.
It's like our camera may have froze here. We've a little bit of an issue here with our camera system.
Not sure what's going on here.
It says connecting, should be up a little bit.
A bit of a technical issue. I'm going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back with more as we try to close this thing out for you here on our game of the day from LakePoint Sports.
It's not letting me pause it or do anything. It's like completely just locked me out.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Run into some technical difficulties here in our game of the day from state games of Georgia. Cory McCartney, Prep Baseball, Georgia's Avery Hunt with you. Still got a 10-10 game here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Trying to see if we can get this thing sorted out and get our cameras back online, but running some technical issues as this thing's going along. We're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be back with more as soon as we can bring you action here from this matchup between Service Baseball and Excel Blue Wave. And until then, we'll be back from LakePoint Sports.
Next. Next. Stop.
You got it?
No. Keep going.
Again.
Next. Next.
If you don't pick one.
Oh, you have time. Am I keeping you from your job? Next. I don't even know where I am anymore. Stop.
Do we finally have it?
Let's go back to the beginning.
Are you
Your
joking?
electric future customized. The fully electric Audi Q4 e-tron.
Making every second count. That is how I live. And this is how I hydrate. Body Armor Sport Water. Water for the athlete and all of us.
This is ready to go online. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one. How about the best network imaginable? Let's invent that.
That's what we do here.
Quick survey. Who wants their internet to work pretty much everywhere?
And it needs to run smooth, like super smooth.
Hey, should you be drinking that?
It's decaf. Because we're busy women.
We don't have time for lag or buffering. Who doesn't want internet that helps AI do your homework even faster?
Come again?
Sorry, what was that?
Introducing the next generation 10G network, only from Xfinity. The future starts now.
At Academy Sports and Outdoors, you'll always find more fun with great brands at the best prices. More of this, and this. So you can get together for a little of that, and a lot more of that. And even some of that, and that's good. Have more fun with great brands at the best prices. Only at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
There is nothing more exciting in the game of baseball than a walk-off, and I would love to have brought you that walk-off here on this game of the day in our broadcast here from LakePoint Sports. Cory McCartney, Prep Baseball, Georgia's Avery Hunt. Some technical issues though, going to keep us from showing you, so I'm going to run through what happened real quick. We saw Mikhail Moon tie things up 10-10 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Kanan Weber then get a walk. Grant Barden comes through with his 3rd hit of the day to single, and then with Brooks Smallwood at the plate, Mikhail Moon then steals home for the walk-off win for Service Baseball. They are 11-10 winners over Excel Blue Wave in this game of the day from the state games of Georgia. And Avery, look, you said it in the 6th inning with Excel Blue Wave leading. Service Baseball just do enough to give yourselves a chance to win in the 7th inning. We may not have not gotten to have seen it, but obviously, Service Baseball did exactly what you said and put themselves in position to win the game, and they did just that.
Absolutely. When you fall behind 3 or 4 runs late in the ball game, your offense, is able to bounce back and give you a shot, get you within a run. Really good job by their pitching staff there in the top half of the 7th inning with, bases loaded, 1 out. You escape that jam, and all of a sudden now your offense has got a chance. You tie it up in the 7th inning, and then obviously with our technical difficulties, didn't get to see the conclusion here live, but really good job by their pitching staff and their offense of staying in the game because, you get down 3-4 runs late in the ball game, it's easy to give up. So, so really good job by the service guys in a really close game to kind of get most of these guys' weekend started. So, looking forward to seeing both of these teams the rest of the week.
Well, Excel Blue Wave out-hit Service Baseball 14-9. But Service Baseball able to come through and absolutely deliver when it mattered most. And when we start talking about player of the game for this one, I think Mikhail Moon. He had a triple earlier in the game. He has that hard hit that the first baseman was unable to make the play on. But he just made plays when Service Baseball needed them to, and then he makes the final one, getting that walk-off win. So just a big game from a guy who is getting a lot of noise in the state of Georgia here among 2027s. Mikhail, the top-ranked center fielder in Georgia in 2027 out of East Forsyth, number 52 overall. He starts off the summer making some serious noise for himself.
Absolutely. It's a great way to start the summer for him. You get 2 hits, delivering the 7th inning with a guy on third base, and then able to cause some havoc on the base pass and walk it off for you guys. So, an ideal start for him and really a game that we saw a lot of offense. And, he's kind of the guy that sticks out the most for Service.
Service Baseball, 11-10 winners over Excel Blue Wave. This has been our game of the day from the state games of Georgia. For Avery Hunt and Hudson Graham, who joined me earlier from Prep Baseball, and the work of producer Mason Monroe behind the scenes. Appreciate you joining us. We'll see you next time from LakePoint Sports.